Salutations. My name is Eqlipse, and it's been a while. This year has been a really tough one, and I'm finally going to let you all in on exactly what's been going on. Now, I know not all of you are here for my life story, and I don't expect you to be. There will only be one video I'm making on this subject, but I felt it was important to explain to everyone what's been going on. Hopefully also to give my own self a sense of closure. I'm reading off a script right now, so this can be at least a little concise instead of you all having to hear me fucking ramble for like 30 minutes about off-topic bullshit. For those that do want to listen, at the end of this video, I've got a really cool announcement for you guys, so stick around if you're so inclined. I'm just using footage of me absolutely crushing it on Manicube in this video, but since I'm scripting this, I didn't want to have to do a lot of jump cutting, and I just wanted to keep this as concise as possible. Now you know the gist of the video. Let me explain what happened to Eqlipse. Me. So to explain the monstrosity that has been my year, we gotta go back to the 4th of July. Don't worry, I'll make this quick. I decided to take a day off streaming to celebrate the 4th with my housemates. We had a great time. We drank, partied, cooked burgers, hot dogs, shot small fireworks and sparklers. You know, what we Americans do on American Day. The next day, I was kind of hungover, so I spent the day cleaning up after the party. July 6th, I woke up bright and early at a crisp 1 p.m. Yes, I know I'm the epitome of someone who has their life together. Don't worry, that still hasn't changed. But regardless, I wanted to make fish tacos for lunch, so I went to the shop and bought some fresh steelhead. The tacos tasted great. But later on in the night, I had an attempt on my life. Food poisoning. For most of you guys, that would just suck for a day, but most of you know that I'm type 1 diabetic, and those don't mix. Losing all the fluids in your body raises blood sugar and caused me to be hospitalized. My life decided from here on out to go from 0 to 100 real fucking fast. My doctors were flabbergasted by my A1C numbers. If you don't know what that is, if you're not diabetic, it basically means your average number for your average blood sugar level. So the higher, the worse. They were so high that I really didn't even have a long life ahead of me if I kept it up. So we looked into other avenues of treating diabetes instead of these pens that I have, because they're obviously not working. We landed on trying insulin pump therapy, but this is the American healthcare system, so nothing is efficient, and I had to apply and go through a long-ass process. So leave that on the back burner for now. In the meantime, life decided it was going to suck. I had to file my taxes, which that sucked for a week. In that time, I got a new phone because mine actually broke at the hospital. I even picked up archery to try to decompress, but my neighbors didn't like this, complained to the police. No, I'm not kidding, and I can't shoot arrows in my backyard anymore. Around this time, Cryptid, or Finn as I'll be referring to, came down for a visit that they had planned for a while, so Lacey went to go pick them up and blew a tire on their way in. Classic. This is absurd. Eventually, we got Lacey and the precious cargo back to home base, and all took a breather for a bit. Life was a lot, and I needed some time to decompress. I managed to do a few streams, but I needed to get my mental up before properly going back to making videos and the standard of content I found myself proud and fond of. So naturally, on those off days, Lacey tripped and fell through my wall. No, that's not a joke. So I fixed that. I had no idea how to fix a wall, but I learned, and it turned out like this. I'm pretty proud of it for having no experience. But thank God that's over now, right? So we can focus on relaxing? No, Lacey's AC blew in her car the next day. No time to fix that, though. The day after, I get a call from an old friend asking for us to pick them up so they could escape a toxic and manipulative household. So everybody pile into that broken AC of a car. We're off to the races. They're okay, by the way. I decided to keep them anonymous for the respect of their privacy, but don't worry, all's well. We've lost so much track of time at this point, and I think you guys need some good news in this story. So the next point that I'm going to bring is that August was upon us, and that just so happens to be Salty and I's anniversary month. This has been a long time coming, but we finally decided to get engaged. Here's a picture of this beautiful ring he got me. I'm still looking for a really nice one to get him in return, so you don't have a picture of that one. But needless to say, he's the one who proposed to me, and that caught me really off guard. There's a cute story behind it, but maybe I'll talk about that on stream sometime. At this point, I'd actually run out of time. Little surprise here, I had a trip coming up. I was going to a pony convention called Everfree Northwest. We planned this about 6 months ago, and I had those July all the way to the end of August days to try to make videos to bulk for it, and I didn't get to get a single thing done. That sucked in my mental. I hated that a lot. But the trip was upon us, and I thought, honestly, it might do me some good since I've been going through so much lately. Maybe I could use the trip as a way to reset my brain. I took it as a blessing. To save some money, we decided to road trip all the way from Ohio to Washington. This would also give us a chance to meet Salty's family, who lives right by Seattle. I don't do well on car rides, so that was also really stressful, but I was gonna make do, and sooner or later we were packing, and then we drove off. I'm gonna save a lot of the stories for later, because a lot of them are really fun and funny, but here's some pictures that I took, and all in all, it was a great time. We saw Salty's family, finally met Equinox, swam in a pool for the first time in years. Okay, look, that one's a little mundane, but that means a lot to me. I don't have pools. Shut up, let me have this. I will focus on one thing, though. The insulin story. So picture this. I'm driving back home, and we're still a couple states away. Unfortunately, the trip took about another week than we estimated, and the insulin I brought for the trip got used a bit more quickly than I anticipated. I brought extra, but it's hard to pace yourself when you can't control what you eat on the road in like 14 other states. The point is, we're like 4 days out from my home, and I had enough insulin for maybe one of those days. There is an out, though. Little tip, if you're a type 1 diabetic in the audience, you can bring your empty insulin pens to Walmart, and if they have stock, you can buy the generic brand from them. So I went up there to ask because I was running out, and the only options were either fly home instantly, running me a cool $1,256. Yes, I checked. Or just die. Though that's the other option. Literally just die. I mean, without the life-saving juice, my life is dead. Nothing I can do. They had to check with my main pharmacy, so I had to wait 2 grueling hours of insane anxiety for them to call me and tell me if they even have enough of life-saving juice so I could make it back home. And these fuckers, little tangent here, did not call me back. Literally at all. They did not, period. We're like 3 hours in, no call. I had to go back up there before the pharmacy closed and look at the guy and go, hey, remember me? The one that asked if you had the juice that'll save my life? I still need that. Can you confirm or deny that I have that so I can start making a move? Yeah, the dude was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh, cool, great. That's awesome. I'm having a panic attack in my head at this point, but I'm trying to keep my cool, and he walks to the fridge. If you don't know, insulin has to be stored refrigerated. He grabs a box that I'm familiar with and dumps it out. Usually there's 5 pens in there, and out falls a single pen. He says, this is all we have in stock. It's literally just enough to get me home. And I freak out. I say, yes, okay, I buy it immediately. And I turn to Salty and actually just burst into tears. Like 100% being real with you guys, burst into tears. I can't explain the amount of stress and fear relying on insulin for life can give you. There are times that I've almost lost my pens, like outside and out and about, or maybe in a car or something, in an Uber, and I spiral into an inconsolable mess because I know what happens when I run out. I've been to the hospital before for DKA 3 times now. I'm not trying to garner sympathy or anything here. I just want to explain the mental strain that these insulin pens bring. They're so easy to lose, required for living, and not consistent in the slightest. Sometimes they work great, sometimes they barely lower your sugar and you have to dose again. It's a lot, and it's incredibly exhausting. Regardless, this worked out. We had a couple more nights on the road and finally got home. I opened the house door, I walked to my office, I sat down, and my boom arm broke. I'm sorry, that one's funny. I don't even fucking know how, but my boom arm of 3 years snapped in half while I wasn't even here. So whatever, I had to buy a new one, and now I have to wait for it to get here so I can finally get back to making content. Now we're caught up to September. At this point, I was just really amped and ready to get back to work. I wanted to have a couple days of relaxing because I'd been on the road for so long. It's exhausting. And I'm sure you guys are starting to see a pattern here. So what do you think happens? That's right, Lacey's computer breaks. You can ask her if you don't believe me, because I know this sounds too bullshit to be true, but Lacey's computer breaks. That same day, football came back on, and I didn't get to watch it, because I spent the day going to Micro Center, buying parts, and helping build Lacey's new PC. We had to almost part out a whole new one, because she's got some weird BS pre-built from Walmart that had proprietary parts and bolts, and would not let us use any of them without breaking the thing trying to get it out. Eventually, we jerry-rigged her a new PC. Fuck you, Walmart. And Salty and Lacey went on Carvana to get Lacey a new car, because remember, that one's still a bucket of bolts. I want to point out, it's not just that the AC blew. There are 900 million other things wrong with it. The car's from like 2002 and was not taken care of very well, so it was time. And now we have gone from the start of July to the middle of September with like no breaks. Clearly, my body had finally caught up with it all and wanted to die. So in retaliation, Salty and I got sick for a week. Yep, another setback. It was bad. It was like barely could get out of bed levels of sick. Finally, though, it did clear up just in time for insulin pump day. Good news here, I did finally get approved for an insulin pump, so these pens can go bye-bye. And I had to go in for training on how it worked. This bore really good results, and I think this recap needs a bit of good news. It's been a little gloomy. The pump has been great. I just got back from the doctors again at the time of writing this, and we've went from 19% in healthy blood sugar range to 64%. I'm no math magician, but I say that's a pretty good start. My doctor was happy too, so hooray, this little machine is saving my life. Here's a picture of an insulin pump, by the way, if you want to know what it looks like. I know you're curious, because I was curious. Okay. Let me take a step back here for a minute, and things are going to get a little bit more serious for the end of this video. There's more that I could say about the last few months, and I'm sure they'll come up, but for now, I think you get the gist. Life has been really tough, one thing after another. Once things finally have calmed down, though, it all hit me. Trigger warning for anyone that struggles with depression and anxiety. But I've always struggled with my mental health, and moreover, said depression and anxiety. I don't usually want to mention my mental health issues in my content. I know a lot of people struggle with similar problems, and I try to create a place where you can come to escape that. So I've never felt it's had a place in the content that I make. But if I'm being honest here, I hit the lowest low since I've lived with my parents at this point. Dark thoughts were once again floating around in my head, and I wasn't really scared of them. I understand that I've been under far too much strain, and that something needed to change. I couldn't walk around just dealing with this. My depression was all-encompassing this time. Around here is where I posted that clip that I made to my Discord, because the plan was to make this video, but I felt that there was this big roadblock in my brain that prevented me from making or talking about this. I felt cold and hollow. That video wasn't meant as a cry for help, but more of a way to force myself into taking the first step in taking my life back. What I didn't expect was the outpour of support from all of you. So many nice comments and messages. I even received donations from Hawaiian and Para, which baffled me. Thank you guys. The level of support you all showed me is something I will never deserve, but I am ungodly grateful for. After this, I took time to really try to get better. I've become more organized. Been trying to take some time out of the day to do things for myself. I've cut back heavily on drinking, and I've been trying to lower the incredibly high standards of life I was holding myself to. I know I can't be there for everyone if I'm not there for myself. And while I'm still heavily weighed down by my anxiety and depression, literally, it's debilitating some days, I'm striving to do better. It's hard to explain, but I just felt the longer I was away from making videos, the higher of a bar I needed to vault over before I could come back. The expectations just kept getting higher and my self-confidence lower. I know that this is a vicious cycle, and I should just try to have fun with it. But this has all been a huge process for me. Hell, I'm surprised I've even found the strength to write this up. A part of me just wanted to come back and be like, yeah, life sucked, and try to move on. But y'all deserve better than that, and I need to not hide from what has happened. I have this picture of all the plans and stuff that I've been jotting down on my whiteboard. I'll put it up here, but I'm going to blur it because no spoilers. But I just want everyone to know that I'm trying and I'm recovering. Nothing's fixed, and I doubt it will be anytime soon. But I'm trying my best, and I'm ready to come back to doing what I love. We all are. So before I turn this into a rambly sob story, I just wanted to say thank you all for the love and support and loyalty you've shown me. I couldn't ask for a better community. And I'm ready to return to what I love to do, making my dumbass content for everyone to enjoy. So to wrap up this video of recapping my life, and amazing parkour skills, I'm sure, I cooked up the best way to come back to content that I could possibly think of. Thank you for listening to my story, and please enjoy. My name has been Eqlipse, again, and thank you for watching.